What's up, nerds? So, coming at you today with this story that I find interesting. So, I'm going to share it with you and share my thoughts and everything. You can't really see the story right now, but I'll blow it up in just 1 second. But Tom Cruise is moving and is shaking, and no matter what you think about him, because I know some people think he's a little bit crazy, he is making moves over in Hollywood. And I personally like Tom Cruise. I know that he's involved in Scientology, and that shit is batshit crazy. But at the same time, I just go, when he's on screen, I'm having a good time. And I liked the last Mission Impossible movie that he was in. I liked the Top Gun sequel movie that he was in, Top Gun Maverick. Was that what it was? Yeah. And so I just thought it was, he just always, for me personally, he just always brings a good time. You know what I'm saying? And not in a naughty way. And the crazy part just makes it even much more fun. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let me pull this down and so we can go through this. Now this came out the other day from Deadline. Now he's got a movie partnership with Warner Brothers. Okay, now he usually is over at Paramount, and this is not an exclusive. Like, it's not like he's leaving Paramount and everything just to go over to Warner Brothers. But there's a little bit of stuff with that, because if you guys know, there is some rumblings going on that they might sell Warner Brothers, so Zazie might do it. So David Zaslav, he's got a nice little headline here, and it says, Tom Cruise returns to Warner Brothers, forms new strategic movie partnership. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav and the Motion Picture Group's co-chairs and CEOs Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdy have hammered out a new strategic partnership deal with Tom Cruise that takes effect this year. The $13 billion grossing star, and which I just, real quick, it's funny to me because, like, they're always sitting over there talking about how everybody's always talking about how Warner Brothers doesn't have any money, how they're broke. And I'm like, if you're broke, you're just going to go out and spend it on Tom Cruise, but it might be money well spent, because Tom Cruise, I mean, like, listen, if a movie's got I think Tom Cruise is still a movie star. If a movie has got Tom Cruise in it, I will definitely go and see it for sure. Like, I'm there, because it's going to be action-packed, and you know he did that shit himself. Like, he's just hanging off the side of an Elon Musk rocket up into space. I'm all like, yeah, he was there. I saw the YouTube video and everything. That's not a real thing. I made that up. He didn't get on the side of a rocket, but I wouldn't put that past him. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy is, I don't think he's crazy by doing all that stuff. I think it's actually awesome. I wouldn't do it. I'm a total pussy when it comes to that stuff. They'd be like, Matt, do you want to hang off the side of this plane so we can get this really good shot? I'd be like, pass. Let's do the green screen thing in the studio. But yeah, I love when Tom Cruise does all that stuff, and he's just ramping off of the mountainside and using the little parachute and everything, looking like a fucking flying squirrel. I'm all like, I'm not gonna do it, but I love watching Tom Cruise do it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's continue this. Okay. So the $13 billion grossing star and producer will develop and produce original and franchise theatrical titles, which he'll star in. Cruise and his production company will have an office on the Burbank, California lot, which that's also a thing. So real quick, I just want to say before I get into this. So there's these things in Hollywood called packages, and it's where a talent agency, they will get a script for a movie, and then they will go and they'll find a director for it. They'll be, hey, you want to be attached to this? And the director will say yes and everything. And they'll hammer, they'll later on they'll sell it, but then they'll go and they'll get stars. They'll get the main stars. They'll get like the two main stars or whatever. And they'll be like, hey, do you want to be attached to this movie? And they'll say, yes, I want to be attached to this movie. So then they'll take that and they've got what's called a package. And then they'll take that to a studio and they'll say, hey, listen, we've got a movie, we've got the script, this is what the script is about, we've got the director, we've got Tom Cruise starring alongside, I don't know, Julia Roberts. I just made that up, calm down. And then the studio bids for it. Sometimes they bid for it, sometimes they just go directly to a studio and the studio be like, yeah, I want it. And so, everything's all good. So let me get back to this good story. And one of the things, sorry, I forgot. So one of the things that they hammer out in this will be you have offices on the lot of the studio. A lot of producers and studio people do this. Like, for instance, I think Seth Rogen, I think he has his. I don't remember which studio is his, but you have offices on the studio lot, and they'll give you like a budget for certain things and everything like that. But like office supplies and stuff like that. And you might be getting an assistant in there and everything, but you do have offices on the lot, and that's always a good thing to have, because the studio lot is really nice. The last time Cruise starred in a Warner Brothers movies was in 2014 sci-fi action title Edge of Tomorrow, which was very good. I love that movie. I wish they'd make a sequel, but what are you gonna do? One of the 8 titles he made with the studio, including Rock of Ages, love that movie. The Last Samurai, love that movie. Magnolia, that movie was okay. Eyes Wide Shut, love that movie. Interview with the Vampire, Risky Business, and The Outsiders, which I love all of those except for Magnolia, and that one's the only one that's like, I'm like, it was okay. I didn't hate it, but it was okay. But I did watch it when I was younger. Note, this isn't an exclusive deal, as Tom Cruise will continue to work with Paramount, and that's what I was talking about before. He will stay over at Paramount because he's got that last Mission Impossible movie, not the last one, but the next one, which is not part 2. They're going to rename it, which I'm like, that's insane to me. He will continue his work with Paramount, where he's shooting Mission Impossible 8 and Universal, where he is making the $200 million shot in space movie directed by Doug Liman. Overall, Cruise doesn't have exclusive deals with at any studio. No projects at this point in time are in the works or greenlit. It is still early. And I think that before I go on, I think that this is good for Tom Cruise because he's keeps moving and shaking. Anybody that you got to keep your name out there and everything. And I think Tom Cruise, even though he's a little bit of a wackadoo, I do think that he is smart business wise, because this is always good to have your next project or multiple projects set up before you have the project that you're working on at the moment come out. And I think that Tom Cruise, I think he's really good at that. So yeah, he's moving and shaking. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so back to the article. We are thrilled to be working with Tom, an absolute legend in the film industry, DeLuca and Abdi said Tuesday. Our vision from day one has been to rebuild this iconic studio to the heights of its glory days. And in fact, when we first sat down with David Zaslav to talk about joining the Warner Brothers Discovery team, he said to us, "We are on a mission to bring Warner Brothers back. We have the best for resources, storytelling IP, and talent in the business, and we need to bring Tom Cruise back to Warner Brothers. Today, that becomes a reality, and we are one step closer to achieving our ambition. We couldn't be more excited to welcome Tom back to Warner Brothers and look forward to bringing more of his genius to life on screen in the years ahead." I think all that's good to say. This is a great headline for Warner Brothers and Zaslav, because David Zaslav has not been loved by many a fandom, if you will, and I think that this is good for him and the studio. So, said Cruise, "I have great respect and admiration for David, Tam, Mike, and the entire team at Warner Brothers Discovery, and their commitment to movies, movie fans, and the theatrical experience. I look forward to making great movies together." And that's another thing about Tom Cruise that I love. I think Tom Cruise is so great when it comes to fandom. He doesn't go out here and say stuff like, "Oh, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it." No, he says, "We made a movie. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I think that you will," and all that stuff. And I think that that's great in terms of when it comes to fandom, because he's not a total asshole like most of these people. The 3-time Oscar-nominated Cruise saw the biggest grossing film of his career in 2022's Top Gun Maverick, which made $1.49 billion worldwide and was nominated for 6 Oscars, including Best Picture last year. His Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 made $567.5 million worldwide, the 6th highest grossing movie of his career. And that movie was good. I liked that movie. I mean, I get why it didn't do that great, but I personally really liked it a lot. I thought it was fun and it was good. And I do enjoy those Mission Impossible movies. The last one wasn't my favorite one. But I do enjoy them. So I just want to say, I think that Tom Cruise, again, smart guy, even though he's, again, a wackadoo, but I think that this is obviously good for his career. And I don't think he's got too many years left in him as far as action goes. He can only do this stuff for so long. What is he, 60? I mean, I'm younger than him, but getting out of bed for me sometimes oh, that hurts and everything. So I think this is good. This is good for him. It's going to be, I think it's going to be good for us because I just love Tom Cruise. And I think that when it comes to, I'll say this last thing and then about Tom Cruise and then I'll end the video. But I think when it comes to Tom Cruise, I think that when it comes to movie stars, you remember back in the day before the internet, we didn't know anything about movie stars. We didn't know their politics. We didn't know their personal life. We only knew the person on screen. And I think Tom Cruise kept that for a really long time until he started doing those, his rounds with Katie Holmes, and we got the big Oprah standing on the couch scene. I thought that was really weird. And that made him come into light as far as like Tom Cruise, it might be a little bit of a weirdo. And I think that now he's gone back. He's pulled back. He's like, well, I need to step back and, just let the movie star shine. Plus, I've never met Tom Cruise, but I know one person that did meet him, and they said that he was very nice to them. They met him on the street, and they were like, hey, can we get a picture? And he said yes, and he signed whatever they had, and they said he was really nice to them, and he didn't have to be. And so I think that also speaks to him as far as his star power and everything. All right, you guys, that is my video for today. Tell me, what do you guys think about this? Do you think this is great? Do you think this is bad? Or do you think it's just like whatever and everything? But I personally find it interesting. I love the business side of Hollywood. It's so much fun. But tell me what you guys think about this. Do you still like Tom Cruise? Do you think he's still a movie star? I think he's a movie star and everything. He is in my book, you know what? All right, so tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on my next video. You guys have a good day. Bye.